June 13th, which we have done. Yet, I think I've mentioned several times for us to complete this, that we have a conversation where the EDA has approved some incentives, the City Council has not. I've talked to both Mr. Dave Gruey and Chris Dolman, who proposed this letter for Merchants Bank. They are available for Mr. Sarvey and Mr. Chigolo to talk to them about this letter. When we get approval from the council, as we go through the process, we will get a letter of commitment from the bank with the process going to SBA and their approval. And there are some things that have to be done with soil tests and water tests that's illustrated in this letter. On page 1, the construction financing is $1,830,000. And it also on the bottom of page 1 mentions that there's $30,000 in funds available for the completion of the community center. 300,000. And the construction loan is total from Merchants Bank with $485,000 going to SBA, $1,345,000 from the bank, and then it gives the specifications of the of how we guarantee that loan. Please understand, I am not an owner of the Guardian Inn of Rushford. And then it talks about the incentives and the methods of incentive that would either be in place, the $20,000 a year in annual fees for the community center for the ability for nonprofits to use the facility, or a reduction of assessments. Either way, I think Mr. Bubani's already told council that it was a no harm, no foul, and even over situation. And then the two incentives that were passed unanimously by the EDA was $160,000 a low interest loan at 0% for 5 years and 4% for 5 years. And then the other incentive was $150,000 of TIF that went quickly to tax abatement. The bank has that in as assumptions of their financing letter. And then in the last 2 pages, page 7 and 8, it gave the breakdown of the sources and uses of both the community center and the motel. Now, I fully understand Mr. Sarvey's statement that you received it today. I told both Dave Gruey and Chris Dolman that councils like to digest it. I assume that you would want to take it to your city attorney for review. But if we move forward with this, that we fully intend to use the financing of Merchants Bank for the motel and the completion of the community center.
Just make a support comment or two is that when the question asked us when we leave the room is, should they continue to do the due diligence because they actually want to move ahead with this? They don't want to wait. They're ready to keep moving the process towards the bank. Rather than they're saying, all right, you want us to keep going forward. We said, certainly want to go forward. We're very excited about this project and what's about to happen. And we're asking just for basically about less than 10% commitment from the town to help kind of get everything up and going on the total investment here. And it helps you get your land and stuff there, you get your money sunk into already to now develop a revenue stream, bring people into your town where you've got hardware stores, pharmacies, multiple restaurants and bars that all can use more customers. Our projections, our business size here show this will be a very positive impact in the Rushford area as far as putting more people in town, more people in your businesses. And we basically like to have some show of support and a financial way from the city. It's not a huge part of the deal. I mean, it's a pretty small percentage of the whole package. And your money's spent, so this is your way to get some of it back. Help your debt problems.
Basically, the $160,000 loan goes into the chunk of equity.
$100,000 goes into the owner's equity, $1,000 per 1%. The $60,000 goes into mortgage reduction. That's what we have for the bank. But yes, $160,000 is part of the equity position.
Well, this says $160,000 loan from the city of Rushford via the EDA to the individual investors for use as cash injection into this project. These funds, along with another $100,000 in cash, will be injected into the project for a total of $260,000 cash equity.
Mr. Mayor, Ted, that's correct. And that was approved by the EDA on February 4th.
I think the question, it's just a little, I think it was, okay, sorry.
I think the question, if I understand right, is that you're saying $100,000 and $60,000. And the way is this being allocated is $100,000 being allocated to the owners at 1%, so $10,000 per 10%. The other $60,000 is being allocated toward the corporation as a whole and being put in as part of the corporation money. It's just kind of a bookkeeping thing, basically, as far as who's signing it, who's signing the money.